Our story today is To Be a Drum by Evelyn Coleman. Art by Amina Brenda Lynn Robinson. To Be a Drum. Evelyn Coleman. Art by Amina Robinson. Here are a couple of notes from the authors. Evelyn Coleman says, "When I was a child, my father taught me that all people are connected by the earth's heartbeat, a part of the spirit that allows our existence. He directed me to put my ear to the bare earth and to listen. I did hear a heartbeat, perhaps my own, perhaps the earth's. This story grew from such times during my childhood. Seeing my message envisioned through color and form was a profound and joyful experience for me. I cannot faithfully put it into words except to say that Amina Robinson's art sounds in my spirit like a drum." Evelyn Coleman. And from the artist, Amina Brenda Lynn Robinson. When I first read Evelyn Coleman's manuscript, I was touched deeply. I was transported to a past, present, and future that blended together like the sound of beating drums. I saw Africa, the Middle Passage, slavery, the civil rights struggle, Black artists, teachers, and heroes, and always the children. Looking toward tomorrow, I knew that the art must be transformative, and I knew that I had found my sister in spirit. Amina Robinson is saying that Evelyn Coleman was her sister in spirit. What a special connection to have with someone, to feel like you look at the world in a similar way, that your spirit makes you their sibling. During a morning mist, the fog swirled up around Matt, Martha, and their daddy. And when they sat cross-legged, they couldn't be seen from afar, but they were there. Then Daddy West told them a story in his soft voice, the voice that could tap, tap, tap Matt and Martha gently on their hearts. You see Daddy and Matt and Martha. Daddy West began long before time, before hours and minutes and seconds on the continent of Africa. The rhythm of the earth beat for the first people. The earth filled the air with spirit. The spirit rose on the wind and flew into our bodies, and our own hearts beat for the first time. We were alive. The beat moved through our bodies and pushed out from our fingers. That is how our drum was born. With the drum, we spoke to the animals and to the people. The earth's heartbeat out the rhythm of all there is. We listened and sounded the rhythms back for her to hear. Then men from another continent came, men who would not listen to the rhythm of the earth. They shackled us, the people of the earth's color, and flung us into the bellies of ships, bringing us enslaved across the oceans and seas. They tore us apart from one another and did not allow us to speak our own languages. We were a lost people. We were no longer free. We thought we were no more. Then they took the drums away. But cruelty cannot stop the earth's heart from beating. The earth's spirit moved through us still and pushed, not only out our fingers, but out our entire bodies. And we became the drums. Living drums, beating for the whole world to hear and see. We were alive. We would be free. So when we worked in the fields, we made our feet drums. When we sang songs under starlit skies, we made our mouths drums. When we talked to each other, we made our speech drums. When we stitched our quilts, we made our hands drums. When we fought in wars, we made our courage drums. When we invented things, we made our minds drums. When we fought for our freedom and for our civil rights, we made our communities drums. These signs say, "We demand integrated schools now." We marched to stop police brutality. We march for freed jobs. Pass the civil rights law now. No U.S. dough to help Jim Crow grow. End segregation rules in public schools now. March together for freedom. Before we'll be a slave, we'll be buried in our grave. We may demand decent housing now. So many different signs. So many drums they beat. When we created music, paintings, sculpture, dances, and dramas, we made our art drums. When we wrote down our wisdom, we made our stories drums. When we recorded our memories, we made our history drums. When we became farmers, scientists, teachers, leaders, entrepreneurs, and tradespeople, we made our dreams drums. We were the earth's people. We were the living drums. We would always be free. Daddy West leaned over and whispered, "Listen, do you hear?" He stretched out on the earth, his arms spread like a bird's wings. Matt and Martha lay down close beside and put their ears to the ground, too. They waited for the magic to be theirs, waited for the hearing of the earth's heartbeat, waited to become. "I hear it, Daddy West," said Martha. "I don't hear anything," said Matt. "You gotta let go, son," Daddy West said. "Be quiet and still. You'll grow to be strong if you learn to be still." Matt let out a deep sigh. His body relaxed like when he floated in the pond. At last he heard the earth's heartbeat. "I hear it, Daddy West. I hear it too," he shouted. Daddy West smiled. "And what does the earth say?" Matt and Martha and Daddy West all drummed the earth's heartbeat together. Bum-bum, bum-bum, bum-bum. Now the both of you, Daddy West said, will always know how to beat out your own rhythm on the earth. Then Daddy West, Matt, and Martha took each other's hands and strolled from the field with the heartbeat of the earth sounding their way. You too can be free. Become a drum. And that is To Be a Drum by Evelyn Coleman with art by Amina Robinson.